Hello and welcome. This video will pertain to Hurricane Helene. I have family in North Carolina. Thankfully, they live on the east coast of North Carolina, not in the west coast where Hurricane Helene did the most damage. Thankfully, the family I have in North Carolina still have power. They're not affected by this at all. But sadly, many others cannot say the same. Many others right now cannot even reach their family members because there are still power outages. So I will be sharing 2 videos with you, and I will leave the links to the videos in the description below. And I'm just asking that even if you can't help, even if you can't donate to the real volunteers who are truly making a difference in the affected areas, please put your thoughts toward these people, toward the people who have yet to be rescued, the people who have yet to receive help, because they really need the help. So whatever you believe in, whether you believe in God or in science, or if you're an atheist or what have you, please, at the very least, keep your thoughts with these victims. Many are still missing and unaccounted for.
Was Hurricane Helene's path and behavior just the result of natural processes and climate patterns, or was it manipulated? The circular blue flashes seen in this video are frequency transmissions from the NexRad network of transmitter installations. All available science evidence makes clear that atmospheric frequency transmissions can and do have a repelling effect on air masses, especially if and when the air masses have been seeded with electrically conductive nanoparticles. The brighter the blue flash from a frequency transmission installation, the more pronounced and powerful the repelling effect on any air mass or storm in the vicinity will be. Where there are no blue flashes, there is no transmission, thus no repelling effect, thus no resistance for a migrating storm. Translation: a migrating storm will be hindered from moving toward frequency transmissions and will easily migrate in a direction with no transmissions. So again, I ask, was Hurricane Helene's path and behavior just an act of nature, or was it engineered? You decide.
This one is from Truthstream Media. Truthstream Media. So it's like a anti-mainstream media YouTube channel. I have followed them for several years now, Aaron and Melissa. Melissa will be narrating this video. And again, I will leave the link in the description below. Truthstream Media are amazing. They are excellent. They always do an excellent job.
Well, life is like a mountain rainbow with an angel near my side. Just keep your hand upon the throttle and your eyes upon the lake.
Oh, I hope not. Oh, we're gonna go up in the attic if we have to, guys.
We were not warned.
Oh!
Oh, yeah.
Get him.
Oh, yeah.
Go!
Just to give you an understanding of the devastation we're dealing with here. Chimney Rock's gone. Flying Bridge is gone. And road's gone.
Everything on the farm drowned. Couldn't get everything out. We managed to save one horse.
Well, leaving comments of, oh, why didn't they evacuate? Da, 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 da. I don't think you comprehend how quickly this happened. And these areas have never flooded like this before.
I don't think I've ever seen. Never seen downtown Boone flood like this. Look at that.
We have one way in and one way out. How are we supposed to flee if and when that bridge goes? It took our bridge. It took our driveway.
The amount of bridges that are out, the amount of landlocked, stranded people is unbelievable. Guys with me that have done it 30 years, and they've never seen anything like this.
It's been an incredibly apocalyptic weekend for all of us here.
The news is not even coming close to catching the true devastation. There are bodies that are floating down the river, babies.
They literally watched multiple neighbors die. One was hit by a tree, others were washed away. Literally, the house was floating away with people in it. They are in shock. They are traumatized.
It's not enough. What is being done is not enough.
There's still plenty of people completely unaccounted for. Keep these locals in your prayers.
The destruction and devastation caused by this hurricane up in the mountainous areas of eastern Tennessee and western North Carolina it's beyond unprecedented. They're actually saying this is a 1,000-year weather event, but I think they're just slapping the number 1,000 on there because they want to put a really big number because they've never seen anything like this before.
We're looking at a 1,000-year rain event here.
These are areas where the roads are very narrow in places. Mass exodus probably wouldn't even have been possible if they could have done it in time, and they didn't have a lot of time in a lot of areas. If you pull up on this trying to get out, you're not going this way. And there might not be another road on the other side to get you somewhere because you're going to get swept down a mountain. I don't think you can tell when people are criticizing that they don't really understand the geography of this region. You've got spotty reception service, so if they're sending out emergency alerts, people aren't probably getting them. And I've even seen meteorologists being quoted as saying the messaging could have been stronger to warn people to get out, but we have to cut everyone some slack because what happened doesn't even make any sense. Okay, that's the level we're talking about. And the problem with leaving, that some people don't seem to realize at all, is that the government might prevent you from coming back. But we'll get to that momentarily. This hurricane, Helene, came up into here and dumped 40 trillion gallons of water in a very short amount of time into areas that don't see water like that. And the water just had nowhere to go. And there are still mudslides happening. There's still flooding that has not receded yet. It's just too much water. It has to go somewhere. So you've got people, like I said, they're describing this as not just unprecedented, but apocalyptic. There are, depending on where you look, They're reporting, CBS News yesterday reported 131 deaths. Today, the New York Times is saying 183 in 6 states. Good Morning America said the death toll has now reached 200. They're not going to know for a long time how many people have perished in this, but thousands of people are missing. So it rained for several days before this area was hit, so it was already rained on, and then this thing came through and just dumped insane amounts of water. In some places, 18 inches of water got dumped in 12 hours. The highest number I saw for one little town was 31.33 inches of rain in Busick. So 31 inches of rain is unimaginable. I mean, this is a kind of place where people plan for self-sufficiency. They have had floods before, but not anything like this in known, recorded modern American history. And it's been compared to the 1916 flood that happened in the area, but that comparison is that flood pales in comparison to this, actually. And it was pretty serious, too. I mean, the stories at the time coming out about that flood are very harrowing stories. You have just terrifying, horrible things like babies being pulled out of people's arms and stuff. But that flood was 22 inches of rain, and total for the entire area was 80 deaths. So we have more than doubled that number already. And again, people are still trapped up in here. Like there's no way to know how many people are missing. They don't even have a good number right now.
I can not even tell you how many families, even here outside of Charlotte, that are looking for their loved ones up in that area. No one knows anything.
If you go to certain platforms, there is picture after picture after picture of people that are missing and lost and people looking for their family members. And it is not okay.
There's no coordinated central location where that information is going. That's the thing. It's all done by citizens. It's definitely not happening through our government. So anyway, this is not the 1916 flood. This is something else entirely that has happened here.
I grew up here. I lived here, 30 years basically. So on and off, and I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen devastation like this. It's been flooded before, but this is completely insane.
It started that Wednesday, pouring down rain. It rained Wednesday, Thursday, and she came Friday. Everything she could move, she moved.
Close, hold close.
My car's gone.
I'm okay. It's okay.
Everything's gone.
It isn't just bridges that are washed out or roads that are washed away. Whole towns are gone. We've got upwards of almost 1 million people still without power as of today, just in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia alone. And the stories...
And to clarify, it's the people affected by the floods that are out of power. I have family in North Carolina, and they are on the east side of North Carolina, which you would think this would happen on the east side, not on the west side, not inland. This happened on the west side, away from the ocean. And I agree with so many testimonies, so many commentaries pertaining to this hurricane. It does not make sense.
They're coming out of people being trapped in areas where there's no running water. They can't obviously flush toilets. You have elderly and disabled people who can't get around very easily. There are stories of children being found just abandoned in the woods, not abandoned, but their parents are nowhere to be found. Something must have happened to their parents because there's just children just in the woods. And that's before you get into the much darker stuff that the media isn't talking about.
How they're saying just a couple hundred people on the news and social media. He looked at me and just his face head kind of drooped, and he started choking up. I put my hand on his back and said, "Buddy, we're doing all we can do." He said, "I've talked to people and they're pulling people out of houses about an hour. Just that they couldn't get out. The water took them in, trapped them in, then the silt filled in. They're there. You go down through there and there's just houses with big X's on them or check marks on them. I don't know what the X's mean. I don't want to know what the X's mean, but I'm hoping the check mark means that they're good, that there's nobody in there. I mean, it's horrible."
And so now we're going to get to a part of the video that is probably going to piss a lot of you off. It really pisses me off. I find what I'm about to say to you very unreal, because it, in the first sense anyway, what I'm about to tell you doesn't make any sense.
These people doing these rescue.
For those of you who don't know, Really Graceful has her own YouTube channel. I will leave that link in the description below, along with Truthstream Media's YouTube channel and Dane Wiginton's YouTube channel. All three YouTube channels I have followed for several years now, and all of them are a wealth of knowledge when it comes to things going on that mainstream media just does not report on.
And, don't fly drones around the area. Don't bring in donations that aren't approved. A lot of people are getting turned away for their donations. And something is afoot here.
But this is the kind of stuff that's going on. I'm seeing it all over the place.
A formal press conference or something from either President Biden or Kamala Harris. I mean, how do you not say anything for 4 days? They've been stranded for 4 days, and this is the first we've heard from them at all. FEMA is not on the ground there.
Do you have any faith in the
same thing happened in Ohio with the train wrecks. Biden didn't do a damn thing for days. So I will keep saying it. This is the U.S. government. This is what they do. They want you to care about elections, and they want you to vote to make a difference. But when shit hits the fan, where are they?
Response here?
No. So first of all, you had a woman talking about how TEMA, the Tennessee Emergency Management Agency, was telling people not to send donations, not to volunteer to come in to help people.
Notification from TEMA. I'm guessing that's FEMA for Tennessee. I'm not exactly sure. I think it's supposed to be the disaster relief people, but they were like, "Do not donate your time. We don't want you to donate time unless we ask for you, and we don't want you to donate stuff to other people. You need to just donate money and stuff to us and get your instructions from us and listen to us." What?
And was telling people to just give cash donations, which a lot of people are saying, if you know what that's about, they put it into a fund. It doesn't necessarily go where you think it's supposed to.
So donate to our local churches, because they will make sure that the people that are need it will get it.
And people were saying this woman was making it up and it didn't sound true. But then I found the post from TEMA. They did say that. It's right there.
I was floored yesterday by how my community, which is a little over an hour away from the affected areas, showed up at donation sites with water and diapers and formula and some liquid IV. I mean, y'all brought all kind of things, bleach, vinegar. You are ready to help, and we're going to take more donations today, and we're so grateful for everything, because I'm going to get it into the hands of actual volunteers. And I was asking people, like, why are you bringing it to me? Some of y'all don't even know me. And they said, well, we don't trust the relief organizations anymore. Y'all, we have lost our organizations to grifters. We have lost our organizations to liars.
And she is 1000% correct. And as with all forms of government, As far as I'm concerned, they've all been purchased by corporations and can't really be trusted at this point. Again, I will leave the links to these videos in the description below. Please check out those channels. And again, if you can help anyone in these affected areas, please do so. And in the beginning of the second video with Truthstream Media, Melissa goes over sources, sites providing resources for people in need, and you can check out those websites as well. I will leave them in the description below if you would like to help in any way. This is devastating. This is apocalyptic for a lot of people down there. I feel the most for the children who are stranded in the woods right now. Those are the ones that are really, I just feel for them. They're out there in the wild and they're not getting any help. This is really sad, people. Thank you for watching.